Hello and welcome once again to another live stream here on Paperize. Let's see, today, let's figure out what we're going to be working on. So the first thing I'm going to do is work on some OBS, that's the broadcast software that you see here that I'm using. It's live streaming right now, and you can see a picture and a picture and a picture and a picture and a picture. I'm going to add some screens to it so that I can take breaks, because I noticed yesterday during my 2-hour stream that I have to use the bathroom sometimes and dogs bark sometimes. So I need some things to cut to so that I can step away and not confuse my audience that there's dead air going on. So I'll be doing that. I also would like to talk about the Paperize data model. I'm going to draw it because I need to figure out. I need to start creating artifacts about it so that I can kind of explain how it works, because there's no database, there's no backend. I don't track you. I don't know anything about my users. All that data actually stays with the user inside their browser and potentially over to their own Google Drive or Dropbox if they want. So I need to communicate all that. And that I also need to communicate it to myself. So it's basically all swimming around in my head, and I've got a pretty good idea of it, but I found that as long as things are in your head, you really don't know if you actually know them, and when you sit down to try to export them into an artifact, it causes you to do deeper thinking about it and learning about your domain even more. So I need to do that anyway, and then the real purpose of doing that is to finish the database manager. This keyboard is terrible. I bought a new keyboard recently, and it is not good. So I'll probably buy another new keyboard soon. So I'll use that drawing to help me understand my own database manager. I'm going to actually leave this to do up so that the live stream knows what I'm working on. I'm just going to put it right over here. Because why not? Come on, Trello. Trello does not want to be put into a corner. I get it. I get it. Everyone's web app is very important. But either way, there we go. Now the things that we're working on should be visible to people watching. 1 second, I am going to go send a tweet and see if we can get some viewers today. There we go. Okay, so in OBS, let's see, we're going to set up OBS support cuts. So what do I need? I'm going to make a quick checklist. I need a break message. I kind of want to have a kitschy, funny technical difficulties message. I need some on-screen info. Links and info. There we go. That's probably all I'll do for today. There's also, well, let's just go ahead and say intro, outro. I probably won't do those today. I don't even know that I need them. YouTube has its own in-screen support, etc. So, okay, let's start with the break message. I'll give Trello a little more room here. OBS support cuts, a break message. Okay, a break message. Let's see, what should I use to make things? I'm just gonna go over to Google Drawings. Software that I know. It's not too bad. It's good, actually, for what it is. Switch to my oil and rope account. I need permission? What? To what? No. Don't. Come on. Come on, Google. There we go. Too many accounts. Okay, Google Drawings. Yay! Am I who I should be now? Yes. Great. Okay. I'm just going to jump in with some text. Couldn't be easier than that, right? This is what I was curious about. Do I have any like fancy... Ooh, permanent marker. I like that. The designers and typographers out there are going crazy, I know. I have terrible taste. That's not true. I just have no skills. Yeah, is that all that is really needed for a screen? I kind of think so. No, not comment. What does... Don't they have... Oh yeah, they have these shapes. Do they have like a clock shape? Or could I go get... Maybe I'll go get an emoji. I wonder if emoji's working here. Let's see. Clock emoji. Alarm clock or clock face? Let's go with clock face. Yeah, why not? And then in here, let's see if I can just throw it in. I need to probably use a normal font. Ha! Totally can just throw it in. Throw it in and crank it up, is that? Yeah. And it looks pretty good because it's vector graphic, you know. That's funny. I don't know if the clocks are meaningful. I mean, they say 2 o'clock, but what does it have to do with anything? But hey, it's a rough draft. Everything's an iteration, so I'm just going to iterate ruthlessly, even in public. Actually, you know what? Why black text? Yee. Honestly, I should probably pick some brand colors for Paperize. Let me make a to-do for that real quick. Backlog, maybe it's backlog. Business. Yeah, well, gosh, brand colors are a hard thing. I shouldn't really just dash it off, but let's throw it in here. And I'll have to figure out a good way to do that. Find some hipster website that helps you brainstorm colors and find colors that complement each other, etc. But I'll focus on that later. Okay, it's not terrible what I've got going on here. No activity on my tweet yet. Oops. I've got my tweet deck off screen to the left, so you don't see me when I mess with that. Because I'm sure I would divulge something private. Okay. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Can I export this? What am I missing? Download as. Just do a PNG, why not? Oh, there it is, untitled drawing. Okay. Break message. Okay, I've got a break message PNG. Let's create. I've got a mono repo already, which the editor is inside. I've got a bunch of stuff in here that probably needs to be. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to make a new folder inside the mono repo. I'm going to do it. I always do it wrong on Mac. It's right up here. Okay, live stream channel. I'm not sure what it should be. We'll say live stream. Can I just drag this in there? Of course I can. Okay, there's my break message. Now let's see. Let's get OBS to use it so we can show exactly what we're talking about here. Okay, we need a new scene, and this will be on break. Don't want to go to it yet. So let me switch to studio mode. There we go. So now I can, studio mode is like, you know, it's for live video production, which of course is what I'm doing. And so it lets me work here without messing with what you see, the viewer sees, which is here. And, right, so I need to add a source. Let's get a new source, and this will be a image. Ooh, image slideshow, that's cool. This will be the on break image. The name is already in use. Great. Image file, and I'll browse to the project again. Find live stream, break message. Oh, look, there's no backdrop. Oh, and the emoji rendered differently? That is weird. That is weird. Okay, well, let's use it so that unload image when not showing. Maybe, I don't know. Sure. And then we'll stretch that bad boy out so it takes up the screen. Look at that, very cool. Great, so now I've got my on break and my work sources. And if I want to go on break, I can just transition to that. And you'll see my really ugly on break message. And I can just transition back. And you see my desktop again. Great, so now I can go on break. It's ugly, but I'm going to leave it. I think that maybe it will be more rewarding to see ugly things get prettier than to see whatever I would come up with that I would think is pretty. And I kind of like that the emoji rendered differently in here. It's really strange, but it's kind of awesome. I am wondering if OBS can like save these piles of scenes and sources, because I suddenly feel like I'm building up special sauce for this channel. It might be nice to be able to load it on other machines, etc., but I guess I can figure that out. Maybe I can write some scripts in, since the image is saved in the repo. One sec, looking at my Twitter again. Cool. Okay. Great. So there's the break message. Let's jump back out to drawings. Make a new one. Break message is done. Technical difficulty. Oops. Technical difficulties message is next. Let's do all caps. We are experiencing technical difficulties. And appreciate your patience. Okay, let's blow that up to an unreasonable size. Switch to permanent marker. Align center? Why not? And I think what I'm gonna do is keep up with the emojis because I kind of like the weirdness of it being rendered kind of arbitrarily. Okay, dog face. Can I just copy that? I like dog face. Can I just copy that and throw in another? Oh, that copied a real image. I don't want a real image. I want this. I want that, and I want it big. Big, big dog face. Big, big dog face. Oh man, I cannot wait to see how these render out. Because I think this is rendering on my Mac. My Mac is actually drawing this emoji, but when I actually export a PNG, it goes through some Google-based emoji renderer, which is arbitrary as far as my computer's concerned. All right, we got dogs. We've got them centered. They are cute. Let's do a dog and boom. Collision symbol. Apologies. So actually I'm going to do every other dog as a boom. And then fix the font size. Dogs and booms and dogs and booms. Gorgeous. Okay, and because I messed this up last time, let's make a white background. Send that to the back. How do I do that? Control. Oh. Order send to back, Command Shift down. Let's do that. Yes. Blue, probably not the color I want. Gray, light gray. Oh yeah, and the text. To be consistent, should probably be the same weird color I used. I don't know. I think that color's kind of crazy. Gosh, these colors are... I just have no sense, you know? I'm doing that. Download as PNG. Okay, I'm going to throw that tech difficulties PNG into the same folder. Switch to OBS. Make it technical difficulties. Scene. Add an image. Call it technical difficulties image. Load it. Yay. Remembered my folder. Oh, the puppies and booms are so pretty. Unload when not showing. Why not? And we'll blow the thing up. And it's too big. No, it's good. It's good. Alright. So now when my dogs start going crazy, without my permission, in the middle of the stream, I can say, please chill out while we deal with these technical difficulties. One moment, I'm looking at my live stream stuff. Why does the analytics get so small? Don't be so small, analytics. What is this? I don't need this. Can't tell if people are watching or not, and that seems like a problem. God. Oh, there's a watch indicator here at the top. That's super handy. Great. What's that? Oh. Whoa. Okay. There's Ray. Hi, Ray. What's going on, man? Okay. Back to what I was doing. All right, I made my technical difficulties message. Now on-screen info. So I need some... What do I need? I need... Well, I've got... I need to tell people what they're looking at when they come to my channel. Like a link to my Patreon, etc. I don't really have a plan for this, so I think I might wait on it. I really just needed to make it where I could take breaks and deal with, you know, stuff happening around. So I've done that with the break message and the technical difficulties message. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take what I did here and apply it here by changing the text color. and adding a background. Did I make it gray? I did make it gray. Yep. All right. Save that one and I'll update it. So did that update in OBS already? Let's see. It did. So there's my on break transition and my technical difficulties transition. And of course the work screen is still working, I assume. All right. I'm gonna call that done. Yeah, I'm gonna call it done. Done. Next, data model drawing. Make a quick checklist for myself so I know what I'm doing. Let's see, I need to show data in browser. Show app delivered from file server. Show no data going to any server. And then show optional user-based data storage. Which is like Google Drive. Let's just say Drive, Dropbox, etc. That's like the big overview, and then what I really need in order to be able to do work today is details on in-browser storage. Because those are the details that I'm a little hazy on. I'm doing them already, but I don't actually know what I'm doing, or I didn't do it with intention, I'll put it that way. And I'm just needing a little bit of intention in order to continue doing work on it. So I would like to get away from code for a moment and be visual, which I thought was probably a good thing to live stream. And it'll help me get my thoughts straight. It might create an artifact that can be used, that can be shared as well, etc. So there you go. And now that that's done, now that the images are made, I'm going to actually get this OBS out of my way. Out of your way. So we can focus on the task at hand. All right. This should probably be, this is going to be a drawing as well. All right, and this is the Paperize data. Model, architecture, I don't know. All these words seem too formal for what I have. Okay, I'm going to start with the file server. Let's see if I can find a good shape for a server. How about this box? Ooh, yeah, look at that. It looks just like a server. Yeah. Weird. Man, drawings is weird. Huh. All right, I got this thing, and I'm gonna add some text to it so we know what it is. It's a file server. Why is that interesting? That's interesting because it is. Dumb. I don't know why it wants to format things kind of crazy. Just serves static files. Only tracking is simple logs. IP address and time. And I know that those can be, simple logs is where it all started and could eventually be used to track like crazy, but point is it's not the full-on double-click style, pixeling people, etc. And I can probably purge these logs, which I haven't really thought about that, but I think it's probably fine. They're useful for performance type stuff. Obviously, you need to make sure your app is running well for people, and I'm going to have a bit of a challenge there since I'm trying to track as little as possible, but I'm still going to need mission-critical data about the app. But I'm kind of wondering if I can actually rely on my users to give me that, and if they do, if there's good feedback mechanisms in-app, and people can reach out to me via these YouTube live streams, Discord, Twitter, Reddit, Shutter, Facebook, then maybe I don't actually need a technical solution to this. And a lot of this, the whole Paperize experiment for me is to eschew standard practice of things, because standard practice is creating a world I don't want to be a part of. So anyway, that was a lot to talk about log files, but point is, that's it. All tracking in the app so far is just going to be log files, and I'll try to not even do that. Okay, let's get a browser out there. What does a browser look like? How about a rounded rectangle? How about a rounded rectangle? Let me group all this. Oops. Control G. No, how do you group things? Just figure it out. Group, Command Option G. Should have known. Command Option G. There we go. So now I can't select those things individually. The whole thing moves, yeah. Cool. Let's do the same. Let's build up something over here. What am I looking for? I'm looking for text. There's the browser. It will run entire application. That is, there's no server interaction. holds the app database. Possibly multiple databases. It also stores assets like images, fonts, icons. And it can optionally sync the data to a remote source, to a remote location owned by the user, which is Google Drive. It'll be Google Drive to start because that's pretty easy to set up. But there's other obvious candidates, Dropbox and friends, as well as ultimately it would be great to let a user specify their own remote storage backend. What's that project called? Remote storage, I want to say. Open protocol for per user storage on the web. Exactly. Yeah, and here we go. Traditional web apps, the app and data are on the server. No backend web apps. Use a third-party storage thing like Couch or Hoodie or Firebase. And unhosted web apps use none of that. It's 100% client side, and you bring your own storage basically. User controls device and data. Love it. And that's us. That's us with it's even more, I mean, well, I don't know. I'm not sure what they mean when they say web application here. But I think it's what I think it is. All right, well, Ray popped in and popped out. I'm just gonna chat real quick. Oh my God, the smiley face on YouTube's chat is derpy. Love to sponsor this initiative. Anyway, remote storage is cool. Check it out. Does this look like a browser? Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's probably fine. Make that text a little smaller. Line these up here. Group all this together. Okay, let's just be very clear that there's an arrow from the file server to the browser. How do I make this stupid thing bigger? Line weight. Boom! How big makes any sense? Too big. Data flows this way. And then I'm gonna make a, how do I make a, I want an arrow that like doesn't work. Make it big, and I'm going to make it dotted, dashed. Oops. And then a bit of text. Data flows this way. Data does not flow this way. Shrink it down. And I think there's a shape that's like a, yeah, this thing. This thing with a big red color. Send it to the back. Can this thing have a background color? No. Make it bold. Let's say data never flows this way. Do they let you do drop shadow? Oh, highlight. I'll do it. Ha! Perfect. Kind of. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I think that kind of illustrates it. So it serves the app to the browser, which can have logs because, you know, the browser had to ask for the app. And the internet basically works that way. The web basically works that way. But the app itself, once running, never phones home to anything because everything runs in the browser. So I think that makes sense. The question I think that users would have at that point is, you know, how is it doing all this cool stuff? How does it, yeah, how does it have these cool features just without a server doing anything? And the answer to that question is that browsers are more powerful than ever, and most people just don't use them. They can do more than I think even a lot of web developers realize. Standards are much further along. You can do 3D stuff. You can generate PDFs, which I'm doing. You can embed things. And a lot of it works right up and across mobile. So, you know, browsers are just better than we realize. For all the crufty stuff that happens on the web, the ad serving, etc., they're very powerful and a lot is possible. So I'm seeking to use stuff that most things don't use. But then second, where's my data going? So, you know, I work for a while and then it says it's being saved. Where is it being saved? And I close the browser and I come back in a week and I load it up and my data's still there. Where'd that come from if there's no server? Well, that's just another browser feature, and it's being stored right there in the browser. So let's, oops. We're gonna make local storage here. Local storage, of course, is a web standard. Of course. How do I make that look like it's inside the browser? Maybe, I wonder if we have... I'm going to add a little bit of pseudocode in here. Because why not? And let's ungroup and regroup. I don't even know if I did ungroup correctly. Nope, I didn't. I think I multi-grouped. There, I double ungrouped. There we go. Now group. Okay. Yep. Supposed to attach. There we go. Excuse me. Technical difficulties. Okay. Look back over things and I see where I could make the formatting better. So I did. I don't know if this is necessary. Yeah, it's fine. Local storage. So, okay, what is local storage? Local storage basically just lets you store things right there in the browser. It's got a SQL-esque interface. But it's really just a JSON store. using PouchDB. PouchDB is actually a CouchDB wrapper. It's an implementation of Couch in JavaScript. So it runs in the browser and it can be backed by local storage. So local storage has the API, but I don't actually mess with the local storage API. I just use Pouch, and Pouch talks to local storage for me. One sec. I'm receiving text messages. One moment. Gotta do some texting. Oh, hey, I should be using my new stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Apologies for the break. Sometimes you gotta handle life. Actually, I wasn't on Do Not Disturb, so I'm glad that wasn't a problem. I grabbed a snack. I hope that's not coming over on the stream too bad. But if it is, I won't do it in the future. Everything is an iteration, including learning to live stream without being obnoxious. Actually, I don't even know if that's a goal for a lot of the live streamers I've watched. Just kidding. I love you all. Please don't kick me out of the club. Okay, so I was talking about local storage and how the application, the Paperize application, runs in the browser and stores everything there. I think the next part is kind of inside technology, and I'm not sure if I want it in this thing or not, but it stores multiple databases by user ID, which is right now the email address from Google, which is weird. So you have to log into Google just to store stuff locally. That's not ideal, so that might be, where am I going to capture that? Let me capture that in a Trello card. I've got a data to do, basic data management. Create DB without Google login. That's going to be a big deal. And it's weird that I didn't do that in the first place, but it seems weird, but it's not weird. I mean, stuck in the typical model of web development, web application development, where you got to have a login. And before I had truly embraced that I would have no external services. I mean, early on, I thought I would have external services. I planned on them. I made a document that detailed them even, and I've fired all of those since then. So, I thought the login was going to be required, but now I realize you don't. So actually, this database management sprint that I'm on right now it needs to expose that. It needs to expose the ability to have a database that's entirely in your browser and never synced anywhere. Yeah. And multiple databases per browser. Ugh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's tough. This is kind of why Paperize development has lagged. It takes a lot to do this stuff. I mean, I'm kind of blazing a trail on the client-side application side of things. Not completely. I mean, as that remote storage article showed, I'm not alone in trying these things by any stretch. But it's just not standard and common knowledge, so there's pitfalls. So anyway, I made it where you have to log into Google just to store stuff locally, but I could feasibly open it up where that's not required. And this multiple list databases by user, that's part of, that suggests this other world that I'm building, which multiple database per browser. And furthermore, I need multiple databases because upgrades are coming. Like, the schema is weird. The schema comes from this app that I deliver from the file server, the Paperize JavaScript application. So like a new version could come out and it would come down to your browser with a new schema and not match the schema that you're currently using in one of your databases. And that would be a problem. So you need the ability to migrate schemas or not migrate schemas, and maybe even access old versions of the web application. So how interesting is that? Like I don't know any other apps that have this need. So anyway, schema versions. I'm just going to make a note. These aren't really to-do items. Migration control. So that task is going to be interesting, and this is what I need to build. Like I got to figure this task out. This is good. This is the next thing I'm going to work on. That's my doing live, finish the database manager. That's that. So after the Paperize data modeling is done, which I'm doing now, let's see how I'm doing on that. Show that there's data in the browser. That's kind of this. I've delivered from file server. That is done. Show no data going to any server. Yeah, I did that. Optional user-based data storage. So I haven't done that. And details on the in-browser storage. That's kind of what I'm doing now. Kind of what I'm doing now. Okay. Is this even square? This isn't square. There we go. That's why it looked funky. I could not put my finger on it. Ooh, maybe if I rotate it, I can see it better. Oh God. Oh God, it's weird. It's still not square. Is it not square because I started it not square? Holy cow. It's just suddenly bothering me. That's totally not square. Is it supposed to be square? I don't even know. Wow. Data never flows this way. You can tell that this is what you're not supposed to do, folks. My whole thing is to design games, not graphics. I want people to focus on what's important and not push pixels. Because when you get in these programs, such as this drawing program, it's so tempting to push pixels all day. And you have to stop doing that. You got to get out of the pixels and into the design. So there you go. It's hard. I know it's hard. That's the other thing about Paperize is it's fixing problems for me personally. That slows me down a lot too. Okay, well, let's see. Suffice to say, I need to, well, first of all, let me group these before I move away from them. What I need to do is create Google. Create Google. No, not create Google. Create Google Drive in my drawing. I don't know why those things bug me. Probably helps to center it all the ways. Should probably be centering everything. Okay, so here's the thing about Google Drive. Let's just talk about the auth stuff. It's owned by the user. Only connection to Paperize is the API key. So I had to sign up for an API key with Google in order to let you quote unquote, log in, off into Paperize. So even though I'm not storing anything, Google knows who I am, and they basically vouch for me. They deem Paperize to be a trusted user of the Google API. They know exactly what permissions I have to mess with your data, and they know every time someone gives Paperize permission to mess with your data. So, the app is going to reach into your drive if you give me permission, and it's going to push JSON blobs into it. It's going to let me pull file listings out of it, so I can so Paperize can give the user nice menus. It's going to let you bring a Google Drive folder as your image source, so that you don't have to upload images. You can just yank them down from images you already have, etc. So yeah, so Google Drive does know who Paperize is, and they can revoke my access if Paperize is ever a bad actor. But that's it. That again, this is a tiny little light touch of tracking. It's not even tracking, but it's Google may track you. Google does track you. So if you bring Google Drive into this, Google will get more information about you. But that's probably a drop in the bucket for any user who's inclined to log in with Google anyway. They've already given their life over to Google. The point is, Paperize doesn't constitute yet another entity tracking you. There's no reason for it. And I'll be happy to show those. Google gives me a dashboard of analytics of API usage and such. So that's another way I could tell performance of the app, or whether or not it's being used at all. But I don't think they actually give me user information, and I'll be happy to log into those dashboards live on the stream if it's interesting to users. Okay. Only connection to Paperize is the API key. And owned by the user, can back up and synchronize Paperize DBs. Can be used as an image source. Can be used as a component source. Which is a fancy way of saying spreadsheet, so I should probably just say spreadsheet. I'll say, yeah, I don't need to be capitalizing things that aren't really important to be capitalized. Hold on, I gotta push some pixels, BRB. I should really just save this thing once and keep using it. Like a text component. It's part of why I like Google Drawings, so I'm not sure why I'm not doing it. All in time. And for better info, this happens to be Amazon S3. Route 53 and S3. Just to be clear, in CloudFront. Just to be clear about the involved components here. So yeah, so I'm all clouded up. I have a tiny little server bill from Amazon every month to get SSL and a CDN to serve up the megabyte or so of application code anywhere in the world fast. That's key here too, radically scalable. Let me just say that. Very scalable, just static assets over CDN. Scale's a big topic. Amongst the technology set startups, because that's whether or not you're going to get rich at when all the users come. Are you going to be rich or are you going to be destroyed? In my case, neither. That's the cool thing, is destroyed is off the table, so I don't need rich to be on the table. This thing isn't going to cost much for thousands or even millions of people worldwide to use. I only need to recoup a tiny amount of money per user to stay solvent. And that's my big bet, is that I can recoup that money via donations and possibly sponsorships of some form. Or in-kind bartering, etc. It's going to be so cheap to do because there's no server. Because once you get the few megabytes of static assets, I'm done with you. You won't get them again until the application gets an update. Ideally, so there you go. That should be able to be broadcast worldwide very cheaply. I don't need a DevOps team to manage servers. I don't need security audits because I don't have any user data to be hacked. Instead, we could open source and build it into a nice open source project where all of the effort goes into making the product better from volunteers. Not that I don't think people should be compensated, but it's pretty magical when you don't have to pay a bunch of highly paid engineers just to maintain the status quo, but rather you get people who are passionately interested in the goals of the project, making it incrementally better at all times. I'm rambling, I believe. I am rambling. I am making this document prettier. Yeah, okay. Group this, send it over here. All right, let's make this whole thing kind of cool. Oops. All right, I need a big old dotted line. What? Line. Weird. Big old dotted line. And then we'll have sorry. I just typed the word cloud and giggled. That's all there is to it. Make your own decisions about my mental state. Client. Is that right? Client, browser. I've already said browser up there. Client, browser. Device. I don't know. I don't know. And cloud, web, server. Remote. Jeez. I think it's probably more confusing to have 4 or 5 words that mean the same thing. Ooh, I know what I want to do. Align right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna, I think this is clear. I'm gonna make this just say server because it kind of, and this client, because so they kind of match, because you're talking about a client server. Data flows from the server to the client, but never from the client to the server. I think that illustrates what I'm talking about. Just a static file server. And also, yeah, so it's a server, but I'm just gonna, because you know, you keep saying serverless and it's really confusing to people. There's a freaking server, you know. It's like there's still servers. It's just a matter of not having to manage servers. Or in my case, there's really nothing running on the server aside from the minimal hyperfast code required to serve up static assets. So there's a server, data flows out of it, never flows back into it. And then the database is in the client. You know, I kind of want to like grab this big shape. I kind of want to grab this. Oops. I kind of want to grab this shape, drag it out. Nope, not that. Not that text. This shape behind that text. Grab this shape and drag it out. Oh, but I don't want to do that for a number of reasons. But I kind of do. I also kind of do. All right, I'm getting a little crazy. That's all right. That is all right. This arrow really needs to go Okay, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to talk about the local storage being optionally synced to Google Drive and Friends. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Slide this thing over. Oh yeah, and this can now kind of sit on the line. I'm gonna grab all this. Make some more room, okay. Data never flows this way. There you go. I like that. I like that very much. Maybe I can make that arrowhead kind of empty as well. Pushing pixels. Pushing pixels. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. I want to be clear that this is the browser. And that it could be any browser, or it could, yeah. No. A lot to consider. Okay, let's do some syncing. I need arrows. I think. Actually, both heads need arrows. So now I want to say that this is like optional. Oh, well, that's cool. User controls when data flows. Seems better. Sounds good. And maybe there's like a check mark I can turn green and put here. Seems like it should be in here. Seems like an interesting omission, Google Drawings. Oh well. Maybe I can abuse emoji again. Emoji thumbs up. Of course I can. The emoji Simpsons skin color kind of matches the arrow color I chose, the awful arrow color I chose. Okay. Show data in browser. Yep. Show optional user-based data storage. Did that. I really need to show other devices. I'm just going to make a text. PC, a laptop, a mobile, a tablet. These are all like other devices. Oh man, now I want to put an emoji in for each one. Oh man, I'm totally going to put an emoji in for each one. Stop me, somebody stop me. Desktop computer, laptop computer. Oops. This is awesome. Silly, but awesome. Oh, there's no tablet computer. Man, technologist. Video camera. Wow, that's crazy. Oh. What could tablet be? Up device. I mean, pager might be the thing. Ooh, pad? No, a tablet would have to be it. Never know what you'll find an emoji. That's really funny. Go back to computer and see if I can find printer, computer disk. Man, I don't know. Maybe some kind of touch. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of fun though. Okay. So what happens here, the point here is that you can pop into Paperize with multiple devices, like a new device where you don't have a local storage. There's no app in there. But if you log in to that one via your Google Drive account, it will sync and it will take the data that you've been working on in whatever device you were in, and it'll send it to the new device that you're using now. Basically making it as though you're running your own server. Google Drive just happens to be your server. It's synchronizing your data between devices. So I'm not doing that anymore for you. Paperize doesn't have to incur bandwidth for that, storage space for that, DevOps, security, etc. for all that. It's just done. The browser has become smart enough, maybe not smart enough, but capable enough to do all of that, as long as we developers can get those smarts programmed into it. So that's the goal. I think it's a really powerful model. I think it's going to be really powerful. Bring that down here. And then I'm gonna turn it into a bunch of curved lines with arrowheads, preferably. You didn't know Google had something this cool, did you? I like this. I like this tool a lot. So simple. Gets the job done. Okay. Look at that weird thing that I've just drawn. Weird multi-headed arrow beast. Ooh, this is going to be clever. Check this out. User controls when data flows. User controls where data flows. It's too good. Maybe that line could be curved. Oh, can't make that change, can I? Apparently not. Whatever. Is this better fattened up, or is that too big? Are these better fattened up? I'll fatten them up to 2. Sorry, tablet. No, 4, no. Oh, this one's all jank. And it's a weird diagram. That is a weird diagram. And I'm okay with that. Okay. Okay, I think that did what I needed. Oh, I need to list these other sources over here. Or Dropbox. What other storages are there? Etc. / remote storage. Snack break, coffee break. That's not quite legible, so let's, no. I'll move this up here. That emoji really makes this document, I've got to say. You know what? Let's make these go with... And this is about the extent of my design skills. I use the word skill very lightly. I'm going to send that to the back since it's intrusive. There we go. I'm going to make these two have that color too. User controls when data flows. User controls where data flows. Can I underline just when? Yes. Oops. I like it. Man, this is a good looking document. Looking at it, I can't really see much missing. Okay, so I've shown the optional data storage. Now I need to do the thing that enables my next task, which is details on the in-browser storage, like how it's working now, which may include some code. I can check out what I'm doing in the JavaScript to store this thing now. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Okay. I drew all this. I just don't know if like the internal technology bit really belongs on this document. But it might. Well, you know, actually, I think I need to do some like mock-ups of a interface to help me think about this. I'm going to leave this document open and make a new drawing. Of the database manager. And this will make it really concrete. And I'll probably end up sharing all these documents at some point. I may just make a public folder. I need to link all that stuff. I haven't touched the to-do list and all that in a little bit, but I mean the roadmap. Stuff I've already published in the past, but I'll probably get all that together and make a Patreon post. You know, probably. One moment while I change from standing to sitting at my desk. My legs are getting tired. Okay. Okay, let's just rough it in here. Database manager. With a horizontal rule. Actually, I should just... There you go. Yeah, there we go. I'll group that. So what's needed? What is the idea of these things? Like, I mean, I guess it's the user who's using it. Let's figure it out. ID schema version. Size. And then maybe like a breakdown of what's in it. Oh, ID is going to be big. Okay. And I'll make these table lines a little lighter. And I'll make that one ever so slightly thicker. Okay, looking good. Enough. Super simple stuff. Okay, yeah, and this is like, oh, if I remember, they don't even have an X as a shape. I have to use a plus. Rotate it. Yeah, 45. Ha. That's kind of nuts. I think that just lends some understanding of what you're looking at, though. That it's, you know, a user interface window. Maybe a little lighter. Maybe a little lighter. Nah, I don't like that. I like that, though. Okay. The ID would be like email@example.com. Schema version. We'll say, we'll give it, you know, actually, let's give it real ones. I think point 4 is what I'm on right now. Seven megabytes. And then we'll make like a wrap up of what's in there. 3 games. 8 components. 5 templates, etc. Having a hard time. Whoa, not back, not back. There we go. Wait. What you think about that? Okay, so now we can show off same user having multiple databases. Multiple databases of different schema versions. No. I can't edit my drawings the way I want to. I want schema smaller. Just like that. That's what I wanted. It's like that. Okay. Okay, and there could be other users on here. And then we need some controls. So where will I put those? I don't know. true, I know. Look at that, that was cool. Just was able to extend it. Okay, and these controls might need to be emojis. Let's see what they are. Delete, migrate, export. Delete just wipes it out. Migrate attempts to upgrade the schema. Export gives you a file or a text blob to copy yourself that gives you warm fuzzies about having all of your data in hand. Like you might want to do that before you attempt to migrate or something, in case my code goes crazy and nukes all your games. Which is not out of the question, particularly while the app says alpha. Okay. Emoji delete. I am not afraid to use boom again. Migrate. I need some kind of like arrow. Could do the soon arrow. Totally gonna do the soon arrow. And then export. Let's just see what export tells me. Let's just see what backup tells me. I know there's a disk. Let's see what package tells me. I like it. These are my controls. They need to be a little smaller. They need to be centered. You need more spacing between them. Make them bigger again. Make them bigger again. And I do not want to paginate this thing. It's easy to paginate things in Vue, but good lord, if you're going to have pages and pages of databases, that seems wrong. I don't know. And I'm certain I don't need the delete option to be the first option, but whatever. What else? Probably needs a sync indicator if it's being synced to Google Drive. That's like blowing my mind up right now. But so the ID becomes very important. Well, a single ID can have many databases. So the root level of the Paperize record is IDs. Each ID would hold an array of databases. Each database would have a schema along with everything. A schema and a blob. Or is the schema in the blob? I don't know. I do know that I need to take a break, and so I'm going to do that. And this is what it looks like when I take a break. Alrighty. And I am back. Did you miss me? Okay, I think we could now look at what's different. I'm going to say this is done. So we're done with the drawing for today. Bring this over to the done column in my tiny. Oh, where did that go? Did it just go back? Oh yeah, it just went back. Trying to be cute with these screens. There we go. Doing. Okay, finish the database manager. This task is actually this task. I'll trash this one. See, archive. It makes me feel so weird when I've archived a card that wasn't really trying to be used. Whatever. Did it let you delete? No, archive's like the only thing. I guess you can delete from the archive. Whatever. Trello, I love you. I have no hard feelings about anything. Okay, we have this new to-do list here. Got some JSON import, export. We need to have the sizes, and that's here. This is the export. I didn't put import on here. Not done drawing. Let's draw real quick. An import function. That obviously deserves a plus sign. Adjacent. Okay, let's make it uniform. And it obviously should be, whoa, transparent. I don't need transparent, I need alpha. Let's just put a button around it. That was cool. Button itself. This is again where I need some brand colors because I could just default to that kind of stuff. Alright, I'm gonna make the button fit, and then I'll make the stuff that goes in the button fit in the button. Any designers out there enjoying watching me fumble with design programs? Or is it just driving everyone crazy? Oops. Hilarious. I was going to say there's no way. There's the JSON import button. Let's group it up. Then I can just grab it. Ooh. It doesn't really go there. Probably goes here. Or up here. And that's the same thing as the export packages below. Ooh, is there like a package with an arrow pointing to it? I could just point an arrow to a package. Wrapped gift. Was considering that. Could be a gift. I almost want this package next to the thing. This is so ridiculous how much time I'm spending playing with emoji. But I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, I think that I intend to allow emojis in Paperize proper so that you can kind of like not even need images or icons because you can just use emoji. Could get some good press for that, right? Emoji-based board game design tool. I mean, that's some shit that, oh, that's some stuff. TechCrunch and such might like. I am wasting time. Ooh. I want it to be as big as the plus. Maybe I could be shrinking the plus. Because the plus, let's face it, the plus is oversized. Let's face it, there's probably an emoji plus that's way better than this package I used. That is some lame programmer art right there, folks. Okay, back over to my to-do list. Holy cow. So there's the import button. Got that mocked. Asset. So this is data. This is just games components. It doesn't include assets, and I have to make a decision. I mean, there could be a type. I'm thinking about assets like this is images, you know, multi-megabyte things. I can store them in your local storage as well in your database, but like it's kind of weird. Those are typically, that's like you could do it in a pinch, but it's not a super robust solution for any number of reasons. Not least of all is you want to be able to reference remote assets. Like that's kind of cool. You just have some indicator, some pointer to a remote asset, possibly a Google Drive reference, etc. And kind of get it at runtime. Keeping your in-memory data footprint really small. So you can share your database around really easily. Keeps performance high, and it only brings in the heavy items as you use them. So it's really a separate idea. That's going to have to be. It's fine. I mean, maybe an assets link is in there. Linked asset sources. I don't know. cool is that? Do I have an asset manager? And it's like, I turned my audio back on, didn't I? Yes. Whew. New streamer here, folks. Asset manager is just as same thing. It's a list of sources. Clone all that, make another column, and this is like this could be like the same ID as is used above for databases. Is this ID known to Drive? Like how, no, replications have to be separate things. It is all so meta. Very meta. Okay, the location for Google Drive would be like a drive.google.com/ID/ you know, like some kind of normal lookup path. I don't know what drive paths are off the top of my head. Put it that way. Oh yeah. Okay. And this is kind of what I was thinking about. When it came to, yeah, so right. So you could have a common that could come with Paperize, a bunch of images that I've either paid for and gotten a permissive license for all of my users, or stuff I make myself or whatever. And you could delete them and they'd be gone. Why would you do that? I don't know. Is that like built into the JavaScript? So check this out. You can have a remote one. This is another, just a URL. Remote. This is a collection, so it's like HTTPS collection. Images.com/my URL /my image set .json. And for that, there's some format. That you can adhere to, and it's just like, hey, keep your images in any place you want, as long as you can tell, and you tell me where they are with this. All you do is hand me the index. And on that note, the Paperize ones can be there too. And you just re-download it and get all the common assets. This is all just like so much deeper than I had anticipated, or that I intended to work on today. But it is just me on the stream, hanging out, jamming, and I'm not feeling particularly pressured to knock anything in particular out, because all of this brainstorming is very productive feeling as well. See, I could extract out the gridded window as an element. Add comments. See, I need to be able to make my own upload from computer drive photos. No, see, I want to import it like a meta shape. They don't have it. See, it's like, what's a diagram? Oh my goodness. Oh, I want to touch this diagram. Wow. This is what I want. I want to be able to make diagrams. Levels. What? This is nuts. I like this. Oh no. That is too cool. I really like this. Holy cow. What did I just find? Timeline. Oh man, that's cool. Timeline. Oh, there's lots of timelines. Oh, these are really cool. Pardon me while I What? Pyramid? Dude, that's cool. I want a 5-step pyramid. Boom. This is what I need. I love this. Yeah, I love this. I love this. Good God. Relationship. Cycle. I can use cycle already. Wow, I got sidetracked because that is awesome. Diagram, yeah, it's just this weird hidden feature right here. I'm just gonna Google it real quick and see what I come up with. Draw I/O diagrams. 2015 they mentioned this feature. Everybody's just kind of no, he's not. No, he's not mentioning it either. I mean, these are cool. Database diagrams, yeah, that's pretty easy to do. No one's talking about these. That's really cool. I may make one. Meanwhile, there's some like mapping between a database and a pile of assets. That could go either way. I don't know about that yet. I do not know about that yet. Like how these there should be a name here so that this can reference assets from that one, right? Like you got to pick your source. Every asset you mention is a source. Kind of a default one. Oh man. That'd be good though, because if I don't have a source given that name, I can say so. Instead of like plowing forward and trying to hit an asset that's not there. It's like controlled through this asset manager. This is like intense. You know, I'm used to doing this stuff on the server. It's all sitting in the browser. It's crazy. It's like it's arm length from me, from the developer. Well, you know, I can do this. Let's I can do this, or I can make a diagram and pub. And a diagram would give me something to publish later. I wouldn't have done any coding today on my live coding, supposedly. But I am running out of energy. I'll pull up Dev Cypress and just drive over to the database. Yeah, I've got that running already. What I actually think I've decided is that my debugging is what's making everything take so long. I was thinking about that in bed last night. Get this const debug. Huh. Oh, I only use it in that one file. How interesting. But that's my layer. My ORM. Oh, if verbose, how nice. Just that easy, folks. That was way faster. Maybe, I don't know. Seemed fast to me. Let's run a bunch of tests that were like slow yesterday when I was streaming. Kind of slow. I think it's probably the size of the seeds that I'm loading. Okay, that's fine. But having the less noise is nice. I need to remember to do that. And that's inside of a plugin, but it really needs to be like a global setting of like how much log verbosity I want. Or maybe I can subscribe to logs from certain producers. Okay. We can export. We figured that out yesterday. It was pretty easy. So here's my database manager. How much does it look like this? I did start busting out the game assets versus data. Did start that. I actually want to shrink this down as well. Got exported right here. Oh, right. I had a single database worldview. Does seem like overkill to go with multiple databases already, but like it's gonna happen. There are multiple The second schema is going to be there in no time, so like when this goes out. That's why we're building this. So, but I've got to keep it simple. Yeah, so we could rebuild this a different way. That could become the show. I mean, it's kind of what it is. Yeah, we'll just do a quick throw another grid in place on an if. And that'll be if selected database. I've got to fix this keyboard. And selected database will just be false for now. Or let's just go with null. Right, so that whole thing should just vanish, and what I'm going to do is another grid, v else. Some databases. And there they are. And weird, right, because I'm not viewing a database. I'm literally looking at my own memory. So I have to be able to pull a database. I've got to be able to edit these things while logged in as some given user, not messing with the in-memory database. Man, it's a lot. I'm gonna take a break, 5 minutes, be right back. Okay. I need to go ahead and render a database. It's going to be a list, but for now, it's going to just be dummy thing. avidgamer@example.com or whatever my user's name is. And then when you're looking in here, you need like a back button. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Pull this thing up. Here's all the databases. It's just the one. When I pop it open, I see it. And when I go back, it's gone. Yeah. That's the basic stuff. Surprised there's no bottom on this, but it's like yeah, figured. Yeah, and I may want to go ahead and, well, now what I want to do is get that export because I know, because I've got it. There it is. Get that export and draw it up here. How come this didn't find it? Clear it and it's still there. Right. Okay, I want to do the export real quick. The export is going to be another modal. This is just pretty straightforward view stuff. I made a piece of component data called JSON export that starts empty, and whenever the export database button is clicked, this method is run, which dumps the database to JSON, and then I set that view variable to the dump, allowing me to, inside this modal, just simply hold that data. Really, let's go ahead and just make it a pre-tag so that it formats funny. Yeah. That should do it. Except that it looks like I'm still not finding. Oh yeah, I can't find the export button because I got to click the database first. That's going to happen to all these. Which makes me want to, I don't want to do anything right now. Just click that. Do it, do it. He clicked it. I think the thing happened, but I forgot to show the modal. There's the modal name I need to show. We'll set that thing and then we'll show that modal. It'll be sitting there waiting for us. Yes, sir. That is a JSON. That is JSON that needs to scroll. All right, I got to find that view modal that I'm using. Well, which one did I use? Vue.js modal. There it is. And of course, I've forgotten my question by the time I got here. Oh yeah, the scrolling. Scrollable. Height autos. Modal height exceeds window height. I think that's right. Okay. Height should be auto and scrollable. True. That makes it like a JavaScript true. Oh, that's so weird. The whole modal scrolling. That's it, though. I mean, that is the entire view state. That's kind of cool. I mean, that's literally the whole thing. I mean, that's every piece of data that it takes to run this code. If the code is open, then there will be nothing secret from the user. Feeling pretty compelled to do that. It's got the whole source. See, I think a source might need to be remote as well, or external. I don't think they aren't that big. I don't know. They are big. do you measure the size of these things? I mean, there's like a I guess I could call toString.length on a JSON object, a big ass JSON object. And judge its size, its like weight by that figure. It's weird. Modal within a modal. It is weird, I tell you. With the same stuff. There you go. All right, well, there's not actually support for multiple databases here, but I got that export basically working. Selecting all is kind of a bone. Maybe I can auto-select all. JavaScript. Select all text. Crazy. I just don't know. Let's find out. Can't focus on a pre. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like input's not going to be good. Oh, well, you know, I should probably make sure my code compiles. Text. I don't see a problem with this. Oh, text doesn't, input doesn't take I don't think inputs take. Input is a self-closing tag. That is the issue. But yes, what I was saying is what it was. Because I don't want this to be inside of the tag anymore. I want it to be set as the value. And I want it to be set programmatically as the value. Ooh. Oh, come on. Let's turn it into a not parsing the, I want the text of the object. Ah, gosh. I swear these are, I feel like a noob constantly. Doing web development. JSON export. Let's just say hello. $. That's it. Do some console printing. Neither of them did what I wanted them to. But in reality, this is a whole, yeah, it's a whole thing, right? Yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh. Error there. What is the error? Oh, there's no such thing as that. Forgot the this. So toString turned into this. No, wait. This is what the toString is. That happens to value, but it doesn't happen to what happens if it's a text area? What happens if I typo like a madman? You did not like that, and I can totally see why. Because it's invalid. That's a text area, all right. Well, there you go. That's what I made the old technical difficulties for. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. No big deal. Just dogs. Dogs being dogs. Oh, I don't think this needs to be that two-string now. Because I wasn't doing that before. It's just layering on hacks until something worked, you know, like you do. Boom. Now I just need the... Yes, now I just need this to be huge. Text area. Hide auto, is that a thing? That's a lot of talking. I don't want to know how much my skills are worth. Thanks, Stack Overflow. Don't want to know because no one will pay me to do what needs to be done. This is a lot. Oh, auto resize. I don't want auto resize. I just want it to auto height. Which is like, maybe I can, let me see if I can piece this out real quick. man. WebKit fill available is pretty cool. Fit content seems like it should be the one. I don't want this to be janky. What was this, pre? But maybe I can just use it. You can't get a focus on a pre. This just won't work. Yeah, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Ugh. Hi. Well, I made that big, but the text area didn't get there. Inherit. That looks good. Is that right? There's that, and it selects all. And then I paste it here. That is a database, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing I don't know is if this is relevant. That seems to be something that's like moving upstream a bit, since I'm going to have multiple databases. But where does the schema and like database metadata live? Probably right here. I have to think on that. Have to get smart about where to leave things and how to keep the right things visible at the right times. Yeah. The import doesn't go there. And that doesn't need to be a button. Boy, that was weird. But we got it. we got it. And how about about size? Is that something I can throw in there real quick? You know it is. See, that's not going to do what I want it to do because I didn't test the right thing earlier. Why is colon an unexpected token? I don't know, man. I'm going crazy here. What? I'm kind of losing my mind. Am I like totally off? Do it in here. You just don't like me messing with literals? Fine. Oh, yep, totally didn't work. Is JSON.parse. No, JSON.toString. JSON.stringify. It's been a while. That's what I want. stringify that thing. That was what I needed to do a minute ago, isn't it? Oh, gotta do something with it, I think. Totally do. Select a database size. No. Bytes. Do it. Six bytes. Six. Sure. Double two-string. Let's stringify the database, not the... Four bytes. Our data's getting smaller by the minute. What have I done? This dot selected database. See, get JSON is probably, what am I doing? This is nuts. Get JSON, return store dot state. This should be JSON stringified. Oh, ooh, look what I'm setting it to. I'm not setting it to anything. Man. It's all very weird. I'm like trying to hack around the fact that I don't have multiple tenancy. Well, that changed that, didn't it? JSON stringify. But we got the 3.5 kilobytes down. Blah, 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 kitty. Man, this database work is really burning me out. Just because it's hard, but those things that are worthwhile can tend to be hard. This was silly. Let's just pull it back. Okay, I've done some. I took a stab at this. Data size technically is in there. Clearing it works. Merging it works. There's no such thing as migrating yet. There won't be. There might be. I don't know. A lot to think about. Okay, I'm going to be done streaming for the day. I streamed about twice as long as I did the last 2 times. I feel good about it. I feel like we got some good stuff done. In particular, that was data model drawing. We drew out all these lovely things. This is good, man. Liking this. This yellow is so ugly. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, those are cool. I may share them later. And what else do? We set up these support cuts. Just to show them off one last time, I've got my technical difficulties cut and my break cut. So, now I can go on break and deal with the dogs when they explode into vicious posturing. Yeah, and then we worked on the database a little bit. Based on the diagrams that we worked on in the second phase, we did some coding on the database manager, which is requiring a shift in the way that I'm doing things now. It's a big shift. It's got to get taken care of before my next push to production. So just going to focus and power through, and ideally we'll be pushing code next week, a nice production update, and I'm going to try to do it live with YouTube streaming. Okay, see you next time.